Prepare to discard your mental blinders. CounterThink with Mike Adams, live on Infowars.com.
We have entered the era of mob rule. Thank you for joining me today. Mike Adams here of CounterThink, broadcast by Infowars.com and, of course, your local TV and radio stations. Thank you for joining me today. Of course, the topic today on this Sunday is the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation and the United States Circus Senate and the mob rule that has now overtaken the Senate. That's what we have to call it, because it has been a lunatic, screaming mob now that took over the Senate on Friday and Thursday and practically the entire week, and has now pushed the Senate to delay the confirmation vote yet again. And that's all this is, folks, is a delay tactic to delay the confirmation of Brett Kavanaugh for reasons that I'm going to go into here in a lot more detail. It is astonishing. We are on the verge of losing our constitutional republic. President Trump was one of the great blessings. His presidential election was something that could help save America. And then him nominating Brett Kavanaugh and Kavanaugh himself being a patriot and being just eminently qualified to sit on the U.S. Supreme Court and also to help save this nation. Now, of course, both of those individuals, President Trump as well as Brett Kavanaugh, being viciously attacked and smeared by lies and a process that has no due process, and that essentially comes down to a screaming lunatic left-wing mob. And need I remind you that the whole point of a constitutional republic is so that the government protects the rights of the individual against the lunatic mob majority. Majorities don't rule in America. A majority can't take away your First Amendment right or your Second Amendment right. A majority of screaming lunatics is not supposed to be able to take over the Senate, but they did. And this is the problem. And this is why Republicans need to grow up and grow a backbone, grow a pair, you might say. Republicans need to find some kind of inner strength and realize that we are at war in America today. The Democrats are at war against America. And if the conservatives in the Senate and in the House and, frankly, across the country don't learn how to stand up and defend themselves and join the fight to defend America, then they are going to be overrun and overruled and outshouted like we saw happen this last Thursday and Friday in the United States Senate Judiciary Committee hearings. It was a circus, and there's so many crazy things that happened there, from this idea that you have to treat this accuser. What are we going to do? Fluff her pillow for her? Should we ask her for a cup of tea? I mean, you need to cross-examine the accuser. She's got no evidence whatsoever. She makes allegations that are destroying the life and the family of an upstanding man, Brett Kavanaugh. And she is asserting that he committed attempted murder. She said at one point, "I thought he might kill me." That is accusing a man of attempted murder and attempted rape without any evidence whatsoever. And isn't it amazing that every Democrat in the Senate automatically believes her? Automatically, oh, she must be telling the truth. She's accusing a conservative. Well, what about the women who accuse Bill Clinton, or Keith Ellison for that matter? Well, those women should never be believed, according to the media. Those women should be attacked and smeared and slandered and defamed and silenced, because they're accusing honest, upstanding people like Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, he wouldn't ever do anything wrong, right? But Brett Kavanaugh, oh yeah, he's a meanie, sure. He looks like a gang rapist, doesn't he? Yeah, Brett Kavanaugh, one of the most nerdy court judge people you'd ever meet. He's a big grown-up nerd, harmless, except he's got this intellectual system. He's got an amazing mind for the law, and that is what the left fears. And that is why they have to oppose him, and that is why they have to smear him, and that is why they have to assume that this accuser is right even when she's wrong. So stay with us. We'll be right back on CounterThink with much more straight ahead.